Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope everyone's well. So it's been a little while since the last video, but that's because I've been really busy. But anyway, this is a really good video. This is the final video in my Valeton product demos. And this is the most exciting one because basically what we're doing here is the Valeton Dapper. So it's basically like the beginnings of a multi-effects pedal board. It's the kind of this is the kind of product that's going to be great for people that want to start building a pedal board but don't really know where to begin. The Valeton Dapper is basically a Swiss Army knife, I guess would be the right way to put it, because you've got an overdrive, a distortion, a delay and a tuner all in one pedal. Not only that, you also have an effects loop, so you have an effects send and return, so with that you can add more effects into this pedal. You also have a cab simulator, so you can go straight into computer or you can go to the PA if you're using that live. I should add that it has a tap tempo feature, which is great, and that suggests to me that this pedal is designed for live use. It's not just something you'd have in the studio or at home. It's designed to be used live, because things like tap tempos and tuners really are for live players that need to get in there and tune up or get their delay sounding right on the fly. So that's really cool. I'd also like to apologise really quick about the change in lighting with the sun coming in through the window. I'm in the process of getting some filming lights, so hopefully the consistency will be a lot better, but at the minute I'm using house lamps and the room light, and the sun is determining how bright or how dim it is in this room. Just so you're aware, the way it's rigged up is I've got my guitar going into the Dapper, and the Dapper's going straight into my interface, which is a Tascam US 1641 interface with the cab simulator turned on. So I'm not using any amplifiers in this video. What you're hearing is the Dapper on its own into the interface. So hopefully you can see the close-up of the Dapper. Super simple little design. It's basically like an aluminium strip. So if we go from right to left, on the right hand side you've got your tuner and also your input for your guitar and your power adapter input, which is just a 9-volt power adapter. And basically the tuner is very simple to use. It's a chromatic tuner, and all it allows you to do is tune up your guitar. So if I turn it on, give you a little demonstration, you can see I'm in tuning, so I'm in drop C at the minute, so you can see that my guitar is more or less in tune. So it's really simple, and it's got nice bright LEDs so you can see it if you're in a gig atmosphere and it's pretty dark. So that's the tuner, and if we go to the left you can see your overdrive. Now each part of the pedal, if it's engaged, will light up. So if I light up the overdrive, you'll see it goes green. I don't know how well you can see that on the close-up cam, but basically it's got green LEDs in the knobs, so you know what you're looking at. So the controls wise, you've got volume, you've got tone, and you've got gain. And the overdrive, it's basically a nice sounding little overdrive. It's a subtle sort of classic crunch overdrive. So let me give you an example. So this is my dry signal. So it's basically just a straight up clean signal. Now if I add the overdrive, the gain's at halfway, tone's at halfway, volume's at halfway. So it's fairly straightforward. I suppose you can kind of hear the dry signal of the clean underneath it. However, if you were to put this in front of a more broken up channel, like on an amplifier, which is what I usually do, it'll probably give you a nice blend between sort of your amplifier's tiny bit of crunch and then the overdrive on the Dapper. So it depends how you want to use it. I've pushed up the volume, I've pushed up the tone and the gain, so let's see what happens. It's nice, it's straightforward, simple, which is what I like. I like simplicity, and to be fair, you can't really go wrong with 3 knobs and basically a nice sounding overdrive. Moving on, we get to the distortion. So if I turn that off, now the gain is at halfway, the tone is pretty high, bass is backed off a bit, and the volume's just over halfway. So this is quite a nice sounding distortion from the Dapper. Bridge pickup, here we go. So there's the distortion. I mean, it's nice and saturated. It's kind of got that American sounding distortion in my eyes. It's a little bit sort of chewy, but not in a bad way. It's not fizzy. It's kind of articulate. It's good for big chords and riffage. So I quite like that. It's quite a nice sort of tone going on there. What's also nice is that you can stack any of these, so I can actually add the overdrive to this distortion and get even more high gain, which I'll demonstrate now. Obviously when you turn both on, you're going to get a little bit of hiss, but not too much. And this is both distortion and overdrive at the same time. Obviously, I was trying to demonstrate that the pedal itself allows you to go into that realm of the musical feedback, as I like to call it. With both on, sustain for days, there's enough gain so you can do anything you really want to do. Squeals, pinch harmonics, dime squeals, you can do crazy legato, shred stuff. Next up, we have the delay. And this is based on an analog delay circuit, so the signal deteriorates as it goes. I'm not going to have any overdrive on to start with, I'm just going to show you what it sounds like on its own. It's got a nice sort of simple control layout. You've obviously got your wet and dry mix, you've got the amount of repeats, so the amount of feedback, and you've also got the time of the delay. So it's fairly straightforward and easy to use. But here we go. This is straight in to the Dapper, and you're just going to hear the analog delay. there's the delay. It's got a nice quality to it. It's kind of soft. It doesn't really get in the way of what you're trying to play. It sits kind of underneath the signal, which is nice. And it sounds like an analog delay. So, you know, simple. And the tap tempo there, being able to, it's nice having that on the side. The other thing I'd like to add at this point is just that it's a nice, sturdy pedal. You know, it doesn't feel cheap, which is nice. It's got a bit of weight to it. The last feature I'm just going to demonstrate is the effects loop. It has a send and return, so you can create your own chain outside of the Dapper. At the minute, I've only got the Valeton Chorus, which is CH10, which I reviewed before. Video will be in the description. And that's just there so I can demonstrate how it blends with the Dapper itself. So it's quite nice because you can use your own sort of modulation effects outside of the Dapper, have your own pedal board set up. So that was the delay with the chorus in the loop. So I think it's cool. I think it's nice that you can have the flexibility to add more effects if you want to. And it might be the case where you've happened to purchase something like, I don't know, a really high quality effect pedal in the past, or you got handed one down, or you've got one lying around that you can throw in there, and it will actually boost the quality of the overall sound having those extra effects in the loop. It makes it more flexible. As you can imagine, with the pedal on its own, without the chorus involved, if you use all three with a bit of delay, you can get some epic lead tones, which I'm going to show you. That's really fun because you got all the sustain in the world, you've got delay that makes things sound epic, and again it's got that kind of harmonic overtone in there, which is nice. And to be fair, like I say, I'm using the cab simulator from the pedal straight into my interface. There's no power amp, there's no preamp, this is literally just the pedal and the chips inside the pedal that are creating the tones. And that's wicked, that's really cool. I cannot stress how good this pedal is for people that are starting gigging, getting out there, or starting to build your own pedal board, because not only have you got three pedals in one, you've got the flexibility to add to this pedal, and it's you use it with a 9-volt power adapter. It's got its own cab sim if you're going straight to the PA. It's straightforward, but it's packed full of features. Price point, the Valeton Dapper, I've seen on the internet. It's available on reverb.com, and I've also seen it on Back's store, and it's kind of ranging between 119 to 130 pounds UK, and that's really not bad considering you're getting three things in one, plus a tuner, plus tap tempo, plus its own effects loop and a cab simulator. I really hope you've enjoyed this demo. I really hope you enjoyed the sound of the product. If you've got any questions, put them in the comment section below. Links to this product are going to be in the description. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Cheers, and I'll see you soon.